Hi everyone, it's Bernard here on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com. It's a Monday, so we're looking at some new DVDs, videos. I keep saying videos, onto DVDs, Blu-ray, and 4K now. Obviously, where available. Obviously, not a lot of these new films out to buy are on 4K, but if I've got that information, I'll give it to you. So it's Monday, so it's our look at what's out today. Not a lot today. There's a lot of stuff out, obviously, but I'm concentrating on the main things, obviously, that most people would like to see. There's 3 movies, a documentary, and 4 box sets to just talk about. So we'll talk about those. If you like what we do, push the old subscribe button. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Plus the bell notifications, so you know when these videos and vlogs are coming out. That'd be absolutely fantastic. So any comments, just let me know. If you get to see any of these films or go out and buy them at the shops and supermarket or online, let me know what you think of them. You know, I get to watch virtually all of these at some stage, so it's always nice to know what the people think. Anyway, let's start with the first film. The first film we're going to look at, Night Hunter. So a lot of potential with this one. It's got absolutely fantastic cast, as you know. I read through it now. It's a 15 rating, an hour and 38 minutes. It's classed as an action thriller. A weathered lieutenant, his police force, and a local vigilante are all caught up in a dangerous scheme involving a recently arrested, troubled man who's linked to years of female abductions and murders. It's directed and written by David Raymond, stars Henry Cavill, who's obviously in the picture, the wonderful Ben Kingsley, and Alexandra Daddario. The critics score, Internet Movie Database, the Metascore, which is the critics' rating, not overly like 3.1 out of 10, which is pretty pathetic, isn't it? That's the lowest one here. Is from the Los Angeles Times. Noel Murray gave it a 3 out of 10. The biggest mystery in the serial killer thriller Night Hunter isn't the identity of a super predator or the location of his abductees. The real question here is how such a preposterous compendium of crime movie cliches could attract a heavyweight cast. Well, perhaps the dollar, a few dollars helped that as well. And one of the highest scores, Hollywood Reporter Justin Lowe gave it a 5 out of 10. The cast handles the sometimes ludicrous plot shifts with relative equanimity, although Cavill seems like he's trying way too hard to embrace his role as a conflicted cop and father, attempting to protect his teen daughter while pursuing a killer ruthlessly targeting innocent young women. So the critics didn't like it. User reviews a little bit higher, 5.8 out of 10. So we're getting to a watchable mark, aren't we? Which I always think a 6 out of 10 means a film is watchable. Don't forget, this isn't a cinema rating, so these are probably more watchable on DVD and Blu-ray. Okay film. Brendan Fletcher's The Oddball was worth the price of admission, though. That's from Red Robin on the 19th of October. Gandhi and Superman couldn't save this movie, and they were in it. They just seemed detached and were just going through the motions for the paycheck. Plus, the story wasn't that great to begin with. So I suppose they had to make do with what they were given. The young Canadian actor I've never heard of before, Brendan Fletcher, did a good job as the weird guy. It reminded me the first time I saw Ed Norton in his first film, Primal Fear. He was really believable in that movie. I can understand what he's saying there, actually. So much so that he was even nominated for an Academy Award. I really thought Ed Norton was mentally challenged in real life. Like Giovanni Ribisi and the other sister, this movie is really a 5. The additional point was for Fletcher. So he's given it a 6 out of 10, which is a watchable rating, and mainly because of the acting of Brendan Fletcher there. And I've seen this, my little blog on MovieGameNostalgia.com. I didn't waste too many words on this film. Such a shame, really. A great cast and possibilities of a good movie, but sadly just turns into a mishmash of scenes and lacks real depth despite some fine performances. 1 or 2 okay twists, but an opportunity missed. I was a bit kind to this. I give it a 6.5 out of 10, which is quite a kind rating. I always like to see Ben Kingsley anyway in most things. He does a lot of pretty bang average films, doesn't he? For an Academy Award sort of film actor sort of thing. He does do a lot of not dross. I won't say dross. I'm being unkind answer, but he does do some funny parts. He just likes to keep working, I suppose. So, and there's not always great scripts about, is there? So, Night Hunter, it was okay. It's £7 on DVD, which pretty much says it all, really. The price, it's the minimum price really for a brand new DVD release. Anyway, that's Night Hunter. Right, on to the next one, quite a big one. I saw this at the cinema a while back, obviously, yeah. And it's the new Spider-Man Far From Home, obviously following on from the Homecoming, which obviously everyone has seen. Got a little bit of a mixed review, obviously. Spider-Man Far From Home, it's a 12A, 2 hours and 9 minutes, action adventure sci-fi. It's a £10 DVD, £15 on Blu-ray. And actually, you can get Far From Home and Homecoming on DVD at £15, Blu-ray at 20, and the 4K version at $39.99 if you shop around. So that's Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming. But obviously, we're looking at Spider-Man Far From Home today. It follows the events of Avengers Endgame. Spider-Man must step up to take on new threats in a world that has changed forever. Well, obviously, MCU fans will know all about that. Director John Watts, stars Tom Holland, Samuel Jackson, Jake Gyllenhaal. So, again, as you'd expect, a great cast. The critics didn't mind, actually. They quite liked it, the critics. It's got an overall score of 6.9 out of 10, which is pretty good. IndieWire's David Elric was one of the lowest scores. He only gave it a 5 out of 10. This is a maddening failure when compared to the remarkable artistry of Into the Spider-Verse or the raw pathos of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. So we didn't enjoy that. One of the highest scores was from IGN's Jim Vegvoda. He gave it an 8.8 out of 10, which is a healthy score. Spider-Man Far From Home is great fun, filled with heart, humour, and lots of cool stuff for fans to geek out over. Yeah, so I mean, that's 6.9 out of 10, and the users, not too bad either. They're giving it a 7.6 out of 10, which is quite a healthy score from the Nut Joe public, if you like. They include an 8 out of 10. Not bad. I Just Review Movie. That's from I Just Review Viewers, who did this on the 1st of November. Give it 8 out of 10, and then he wrote, but not great either. It's got some humour, some web slinger, half-decent villain, and some things MCU. Worth watching if you've got time to spare, but you still give it an 8 out of 10. So I mean, I'll give that's about the average score, and it's 7.6 out of 10. It does have its failings, obviously. My little blog on my movie game nostalgia.com. There has to be an unwritten rule that these Marvel movies have to last for at least 2 hours. That time has to be filled, and there are too many unfunny, boring bits to make me like it a lot more. There were some funny bits and comedy, and the CGI was okay without being spectacular. Holland is a new Spider-Man I have trouble connecting with, in all fairness, and that possibly sours my score. I just don't see him as our web-slinging hero. The audience looks pretty split, but it gets a healthy score overall and is an adequate addition to the MCU franchise. I've only given it a 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, but obviously I've read a positive reviews from the users there and a critic review, but there was a lot of negativity about it. But for those scores, it's doing all right, isn't it? So I said I'm a bit lower on 6.5 out of 10, but I'm not, biggest fan of some of the MCU stuff. I do, I do appreciate a good one, but I was a bit. It's a Spider-Man. I couldn't quite get into it. I can't quite get into this guy. I like my old Spider-Man, to be honest with you. I'm finding it a struggle to get into the new guy playing Spider-Man. So that's probably, as I said, it tainted my score a little bit. I give it 6.5 out of 10, but it's good. It's on DVD. You got to collect it, aren't you? If you're into that sort of thing. So go out and buy it. Right, the next one we're going to look at, Surviving Christmas with the Relatives. Don't get mixed up with was it Ben Affleck who did Surviving Christmas a few years, well, not too long ago, was it? It wasn't that long ago. So it's Surviving Christmas with the Relatives. It's a British-based Christmas film. Obviously, it was on at the cinema last Christmas, and obviously, with Christmas films, you're not going to release them in January, February. They're going to release them this Christmas. So obviously, we've now got it on DVD for £8. So again, reasonably priced, which probably tells you a little bit about it. Anyway, Surviving Christmas with the Relatives. It's a 15. An hour and 41 minutes. It's classed as a comedy. Yep. I'll go into that in a minute. Two sisters and their families spend, or rather endure, Christmas at their late parents' dilapidated country house. So nothing new on the old plot is that it's written and directed by a guy called James Dearden. It stars Julian Ovenden, Gemma, Whelan, and Jolie Richardson. I mean, it's always nice to see Jolie, isn't it? Users rating 5.1 out of 10, but that's only based on two written reviews and people who just left reviews for it. There's no critics reviews on this at all. I mean, You know, is it probably because it's not worth it? I don't know. The two user reviews, I'll read them both out. One's from a Dustin Bar. Well, question mark. He did this on the 1st of November. Just give it a 3 out of 10. A bit harsh. The cast was virtually flawless. The plot, hard to find one. Who were the main characters? What was the story? When you get to the end of the movie, you're left thinking, so what? Yep, and not bad at all from KQ999. So he's a little bit different. He's giving it a 7 out of 10. He watched this back in September, so he must have been hoping for a little bit of Christmas, early Christmas spirit. For a Christmas movie with a well-used storyline that being just as the title says, surviving Christmas with the relatives, it is quite enjoyable. Not as silly or madcap as most. It is a good little time waster to watch with the family after Christmas Day winds down. Yeah. So my little blog on moviegamenostalgia.com. I'm always up for a good Christmas movie. Sadly, although this is based around a family get-together at Christmas, it's not really a Christmas movie as such. If I was watching this as a one-off drama on a cold afternoon, it would be fine. But as a nice Christmas comedy film, nope, not a chance. Where was the comedy, for one thing? Yeah, I didn't find it. It's all funny. And, you know, there may have been one or two elements that are quite cheerful and funny, but it did to be classed as a comedy, no. A good, mainly British cast, well acted, and nice to see Gemma, Whelan, Jolie Richardson, Patricia Hodge, etc. And the younger actors were okay, although their parts were mainly for show. I gave it a watchable rating as a quaint, simple British drama, but as a festive movie, I'd have given it a 3 out of 10, yes. So I have actually given, as you know, if you watch my things, 6 out of 10 is a score for me that means it's watchable, and that's what I'll give this. I'll give it 6 out of 10, but it's not a Christmas movie. It's just like a little British drama about family getting together, really. There's a Christmas tree in it, there's presents in it, but I wouldn't really class it as a Christmas. I'm hoping there's going to be better to come, you know, that I may have to go to the cinema and watch, or, you know, rewatch, obviously, the old classics that I always do every Christmas. But no, I mean, surviving Christmas with the relatives. £8 on DVD. Well, it's cheap enough, isn't it? But not my best. Stream it, just rent it or stream it. Probably if you want to watch that film. I was very disappointed. As I say, it's not really what I'd call a Christmas movie. And on to the last one today, and it's the documentary, really, and it's something. Obviously, Maradona, the famous football. I'm not a big fan. I'll be honest with you. I'm a big football fan, obviously, but I'm not really a fan of players, etc., who have a lot of talent that basically cheat. And Diego Maradona cheated. I mean, I'm not going to question what he's got up to since his playing days finished. Of course, I'm not. It's not to do with me. But hey, there's a lot of people like Maradona, but it wouldn't be the sort of thing I'll go out and, you know, if someone's got it on and I go to their house, I'll end up watching it. But I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of. Brilliant skill, brilliant football skills, but I just don't like the person, so I can't really, you know, appreciate something like that if I don't really like the person. But hey, there you go. Each to his own. It's a 12A, 2 hours and 10 minutes, a biography drama, documentary on sport, constructed from over 500 hours of never-before-seen footage. This documentary centres on the career of celebrated football player Diego Armando Maradona, who played for SSC Napoli in the 80s, obviously, and other teams as well. Director Asif Kapadia stars Diego Armando Maradona, Pelé, no less, Claudia Villafañe. So the critics liked it. The critics are giving it a 7.8 out of 10. So obviously, if it's your bag, go out and buy this. It looks really good. It's £10 on DVD, £12.99 on Blu-ray. The critics liked it. Hollywood Reporter Stephen Dalton was the lowest score at 6 out of 10. The director's latest rise and fall chronicles suffers from a few structural problems that did not bedevil Senna or Amy. Yeah, he's obviously well known, the director Kapadia, for doing these sort of things. Most obviously, the subject is still very much alive, which may explain why this officially endorsed film feels more cautious and compromised than it might have been. Yeah, I mean, we had the problem when we did the cinema releases every day of the Gorbachev thing, where someone's interviewing someone or interviewing people about a character that's still alive. It's going to be reined in a bit, isn't it? You're going to have to be a little bit careful what's said and stuff, because obviously you don't want to cause problems. So yeah, obviously when he's doing things on Senna and Amy Winehouse, which obviously he's done things on, obviously you're talking about people who, you know, are no longer with us. So yeah, I can understand what the critics saying there, Stephen Dalton. The Guardian, Peter Bradshaw, he liked it a bit more than Stephen Dalton, even though Stephen Dalton gave it 6 out of 10, so still a good score. The Guardian, Peter Bradshaw, 8 out of 10. Capaldi's film is a gripping account of Maradona's playing career until the mid-90s, though it is flawed by a lack of new material of the sort he had for his previous film about Amy Winehouse. So there you go. The users like it. I mean, it's getting an average of 7.7 out of 10, which is a very, very healthy, obviously. Better than expected from Samwise G, who wrote this back in June. He gave it a 7 out of 10. I went to see this with some trepidation. Maradona's story has been told many times, and his downfall has always been one of the saddest of football stories. This documentary, however, benefits from the previously unseen footage, and I found it an interesting and slightly different insight into one of the world's greatest footballers. And for me, it told me a great deal about the Italian mentality as much as it did Maradona's troubled soul. So yeah, I mean, that's, as I say, if you're into that sort of thing, it'd be interesting if looking at the Italian side of things as well. I mean, I'd probably watch it. Obviously, as I said, I love football, so I would probably watch it for that element. I don't really want to see his foot. I'd rather like the behind the scenes stuff more than perhaps the Maradona stuff. But that's out to buy now on DVD and Blu-ray, no 4K as far as I can see. And what we've also got this week, there's 4 box sets. I'll run through these with you. Fans of Wentworth Prison, season 7, series 7, whichever way you look at it, that's out. That's out now on DVD at £20 and only £21 on Blu-ray. So if you've got a combined play, you just buy the Blu-ray for £1 more. It's not too bad, is it? 3 discs, 480 minutes, 10 episodes. I mean, I'm a big fan. I like Wentworth. I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? It's I do enjoy it. I mean, on IMDb, Internet Movie Database, the episodes get scores of between 8.8 and 9.8. So it is well liked. Yeah, I've watched season 7. I did enjoy that. And so that's out to buy. Wentworth Prison season 7. We've also got Big Bang season 12. I mean, another one of my favourites. I'm not caught up on season 12 yet, but I've obviously enjoyed up and down 1 to 11. £18 on DVD, £25 on Blu-ray. 3 discs with 487 minutes, 24 episodes. And the ratings are probably par for the course, aren't they, for the Big Bang? They do have some good ones, they do have some bad ones. It's rating between 6.8 and 9.6, which is quite a high differential looking at these episode ratings. So, but with 24 episodes, you're going to get that. And I just like being in the company of them, even if I don't laugh. I mean, sometimes I can watch a whole episode and it doesn't, it might maybe smile, and I don't really laugh at it, but I just enjoy being in the company of the actors and the characters, obviously. So that's Big Bang Series 12 is out to buy. We've also got, of course, the wonderful Peaky Blinders Season 5 or Series 5, because it's a UK-based thing. £15 on DVD, £20 on Blu-ray. 6 episodes, about 350 minutes. And if you go online on a certain site, you even get a couple of beer mats with Thomas and Arthur on them. So hey, there's a bonus for you, 2 beer mats. Obviously, the episodes are rated between 8.7 and 9.4. Series 5, I liked it. I wouldn't have gone that high with my ratings, to be honest with you. I did enjoy Series 5. I mean, it's like a lot of things of this ilk. It does begin to run out of steam. I mean, obviously in the early episodes, it was quite refreshing and great to watch. But it is running out a bit of steam anyway. I mean, I wouldn't have been that high with my episode ratings. I would have given the whole series, say, a 6.5 to 7 out of 10, which, again, really good and very dark. And there's only 6 episodes, isn't there? So 350 minutes. Do you really get time to get fed up with it? Probably not. So that's Peaky Blinders out to buy as well. And the last one, obviously, we go over to the US for Chicago PD Season 6. So obviously that's £20 on DVD, $22.66 on Blu-ray at buying site on various sites there. Obviously, I shop around. You might be able to get it a bit cheaper. You don't know. 22 episodes, 1,000 minutes. Police drama, obviously. I mean, Chicago PD, if you're obviously a fan of Chicago PD, it's not, I've dipped in and out occasionally, but it's not top of my list. But episode ratings between 8 and 9.1. So that's that. That's the last box set for this week. So films-wise, we've got Night Hunter, £7 DVD, Spider-Man Far From Home, £10 and £15 for the Blu-ray, with Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming also available, a double set there for £15, £20 and £40 on 4K. Surviving Christmas with the Relatives, £8, Diego Maradona, £10 DVD, £13 Blu-ray, and the box sets, Wentworth Prison Season 7, £20 and £21, Big Bang Season 12, £18 and £25, Peaky Blinders Series 5 with the beer mats,
£15 and £20, and Chicago PD season 6, £20 and £22.66 on Blu-ray. So that's the main ones. There's other bits and pieces out. What I do, I always have a look and see what the big ones are for you. You know, there's probably another 6 to a dozen you can probably pick up of different things, you know, rehashed films that have not been out on DVD or Blu-ray before, etc., etc. But I always go through the main ones for you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday, with a board game review. It's a game that has been done on I've seen videos of this game, but obviously I've just had a quick look if I could tweak the rules and play around with it, make it a little bit better. So that's quite fun. So tune in for that tomorrow. Push the subscribe button, the bell notifications. So I'll be doing a board game review. It's quite a modern game tomorrow. Obviously, we've looked at a couple of older games recently. A more modern game tomorrow. A 2-player game, but can it be played with 4 players or more? Hey, I'll have a look, because no one's even looked at that. They're just playing the boring 2-player game. But I think you perhaps could have a go with you know, even 4 players or 3 players or whatever, or however many you want. Have teams, you know, whatever you want to do. So that'll be back with that tomorrow. Anyway, on Twitter, I'm at nostalgia_movie. So if you get to watch any of these films, let me know what you think on there. On Facebook, I'm at Bernardine, with links to movieGameNostalgia.com, my website for DVDs, posters, and board games. And obviously, if you like these videos, these vlogs, obviously I've got my board game vlogs. I've got my video review, my poster vlogs as well. So have a look at those. They're all on the playlist. And obviously, you're into football. My Manchester City Citizen vlogs are also on Bernardine YouTube. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you're doing with the rest of your day, have a great one. And I'll see you all very soon. Look after yourself, look after your friends, and more importantly, look after your family. And I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.